Yep, it's me again. D. McClung here. This is Archer Monologues. I just gone through some of the headlines. Excuse me for coughing. Haven't got the morning throat out yet. Alright. Just kind of read a couple of these. This one caught my eye. Melania Trump. Sorry about that. Mrs. Trump threatens to sue 9 media outlets for suggesting she was an escort. Outright lying about her in this way exceeds all bounds of appropriate news reporting and human decency. Well, I don't have to go to the article. This is what I have to say. Americans pretty much have just pulling out all the stops since we have the internet and everybody can say something and express their opinions and rant and rave all they want. Thank goodness, because I like to do that. I like to rant. It lets me get some of those emotions activated and like, you dumb, stupid bastard, and stuff like that. But anyway, all right. So she's gonna have to, I hope that she sues them. I hope she sues them for slander or libel or defamation. I really do. I like to see somebody do it. I like to see somebody sue, like practically, I don't want to say everybody, but I'd like to see people like on the internet, like on Facebook, for example, those yahoos. I'd like to see them. I'd like to see somebody sue them every time they say something that is libelous or slanderous about another human being. I'd like to see somebody finally stand up to these bullies when they call it, oh, you're an idiot. People like to do that. I like to do it. I do it all the time. Hey, you're a fucking idiot. It's a challenge because I have to be kind of like try to be a little bit creative about it. I can't just, say it like some freaking 12-year-old with an IQ of a 2-year-old. You're an idiot. I like to be a little bit creative. I like to show some creative talent here in calling people an idiot because, anyway, I don't know why, because they don't understand it anyway. Like, they don't get it. Like, oh, they called me an idiot. I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot. Yeah, well, I can tell you something. One of us is not an idiot, and it's, that would be me. I think it's funny. It's not really funny. It's outrageous. But, some freaking moron with a freaking IQ of 50 thinks that he's smarter than me. I mean, come on. I mean, if we just count the numbers here, just pay attention to the numbers. IQ, 49. Them, that person, and, me, IQ, 140. Now, I suppose people expect people who are, on a genius level of intelligence to be, what? Perfect gentlemen, absolutely, totally politically correct. Oh, gag me with a fork. Um, us genius eye. I suppose us genius eye has to live up to some standard of PC politeness, politically correct, bullshit. But anyway, I guess us geniuses have to pretend to be really really nice guys because we're really smart. I'll point out here, by the way, that an IQ of 135, 140, in that area, that's not really all that much of a genius. That's like a low-level genius. It's like at the lower rungs of genius. And if it comes to all the geniuses in the world, hell, let's just keep it in America. Let the Japanese deal with their own geniuses. Just take the numbers and you say, okay, about 7% of the population would rank in the category of a genius. Let's just say have an IQ above average, above mediocre, above common, above ordinary. Morning cough. It'll pass. Okay, so say 7%. So if I'm in that 7%, which I am, then I would be at the low rung of the genius classification of human beings. For example, I'm one of the... Okay, I'll do the other one first. All right, so I'm either one of the smartest not genius people, or I'm one of the dumbest of the geniuses. I said one of, I didn't say the total absolute dumbest, one of. Because if 7% of the 7% of the population of America have above average, well above average, that we say. All right, I'll just put a number to it. A 93 percentile. All right, if I'm smarter than 93 people out of 100 in America, and but I'm not as smart as 7% of the people in America, meaning that 7 people out of 100 would have a higher IQ than me. And all this is with the assumption that IQ actually matters, that IQ actually has some significance in life and in how we live and how happy and free we might be. But in other words, I don't give IQ a whole lot of weight. It's not like I'm some sort of elitist because I'm smarter than most people. And when I say smarter, I mean more intelligent, more capable of thinking rationally, logically, and that I possess some level of common sense. Oh, by the way, as a side note, did a study. They figured out whoever, and for whatever it's worth, which may be nothing, whatever. So they did a thing, and they came up with this conclusion that only 7% of the population actually has common sense. I think that's interesting, seeing as how that somebody also did a study and figured out that 7% of the population are actually geniuses, or well above the average. Do you think we could correlate those two figures and come up with, 7% of the population are geniuses and 7% of the people have common sense? Do you think it's the same 7%? You think it's possible? I just think that's a little interesting. I don't know. I don't think the studies actually said whether that was the case or not. Be interesting if someone would actually do a little research on that, a scientific research program, and determine, or at least take a guess, a scientific guess, not a stupid guess. So, anyway, 7% of common sense may or may not be the same 7% who are smarter than 93% of the people. Like I said, I don't take this IQ business too seriously because I have common sense, which apparently is not common. All right. So we got that taken care of. Where I just kind of wandered off into that other area. Totally left Mrs. Trump standing there in the wings. All right, we'll get back to her in a minute. Taking a break. I'll be right back. Be sure and visit my commercial. While you're at it, just when you get a spare moment or two and you want to check out my, you should want to check out my Facebook page. I don't know the URL or whatever. I don't know. It's never got into that stuff. It's Facebook. Go to Facebook, and do a search for D McClung. That's capital D, small e, space, capital M, C, capital C, Lung. D McClung on Facebook. I have another page on Facebook, but if you go to one, you'll probably find the other. Check it out. I happen to be. I just got on the trending poll. I mean, up at the top. Who's trendy? What's trendy today on Facebook? And guess what? It turns out that I'm 6 on the list of top trendies, which is pretty cool. I don't believe that's ever happened before, and it's amazing. And so I posted something that was in the category of trendy, apparently, and that. And by the way, that's 6. That's 3 below NBC. Wow, coming up in the world. All right. So anyway, I posted. I shared a post about Elizabeth Smart, and which probably wasn't too smart of me. Yeah, sure it was. So I posted something. It was like she did an interview. There's a little video there, and she's talking about being. She had the ordeal with a guy who kidnapped her out of her bedroom and raped her for 9 months. I don't know, continuously or something, apparently. And that's an ordeal, and I feel bad for her. I have sympathy for her. I have empathy for her. I care. She's a human being, and she was a young person. It's 14 at the time, and not a child, but not an adult either. And I hold on, got to take a break. And she was talking about the ordeal, which is, and she's 28 years old now. She's not 14. She's not a kid. She's a grown-up woman. And she's apparently. Well, when I made my comments, it was in regards to not to the ordeal that she had went through when she was 14, and those 9 months of hell, as she would say, as she did say. that is, there's no. She has all of my compassion, all of my. I'm sorry that she went through that. I feel badly for her that that happened to her, and I wish it hadn't happened to her, but it did. And apparently she's working through that. She's 28, so that's like, I didn't realize it's been that long ago. 28, 14, that's 14 years ago. The fact that she's still in the news, that she can now still garner the headlines, that she can be, she's out there doing interviews and working for a cause. That's to be commendable, and that she's a beautiful young woman, and she could speak English, and so and she's a personable person and likable, I suppose. And I'm glad that she survived, and I'm glad that she is recovering. I hope that she can live somewhat of a normal life, whatever that means. So don't misunderstand me, like they did on my Facebook post. Most people misunderstood me. Could say that the 93% of the people that are not very smart, well, not as smart as geniuses, didn't understand what I said when I made my comment about the post. And I've read over what I said several times, and I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. And what I said was rational, logical, sane, and true. So, and then last I checked, there was like 150 comments, or roughly 150 comments on my original post. It's like, wow, that's a lot. And they're all different people. They're not all just me and some other guy. And it's amazing. Kind of think that's pretty cool. And unfortunately, the side effect is that I'm a little bit overwhelmed by all these comments. And trying to keep up with them, it's a little bit time consuming and distracting, and I need to get some benefit out of this, learn a lesson myself, or perhaps teach a lesson to other people, enlighten them, give them some insight into, intelligence. I'm debating, I even considered writing it all, taking a whole thread on Facebook as it is, without any editing pretty much, and just printing that in a book form. I don't know, like softback, or an ebook. Put that on Amazon. With a little added comment by me on the side, people said stuff that it doesn't require it, but they said things that need to be addressed and responded to and countermanded, because they said some really stupid shit. And then, maybe like 7 out of 100 of the people that said things, probably said something reasonable and rational and logical. Like intelligent human beings. Other people were just bickering and arguing and being a pain in the ass, and calling me names and calling other people names and arguing amongst themselves and bashing me and attacking me and insulting me and like, I'm the host of the damn page. I mean, come on. Let's think about this. Facebook, I post something, I posted it. It's mine. I did it. I'm responsible for it. I'm not responsible for the article or the video that I posted. I didn't make it. I just passed it on. I shared it with people that go to my page and look at what I say, I post. So, they're attacking me for what I said. The problem there is, folks, is that it's just sad in a funny way that they're attacking me like they don't even understand what I said. Bottom line, I said what I said. It was in English. I mean, I would think anybody over the age of 12 should be able to read English and understand what I said without misunderstanding, without getting the wrong idea, without coming up with some kind of stupid conclusion or assumption in their brain that is totally irrelevant to what I said and totally opposite of what I said and all that shit. That just absolutely amazes me how a majority of Americans, I guess they're in that 93% pool, that are like total fucking illiterate people. Can't read and comprehend English. I know people in foreign countries like Germany and England and Russia and that understand English better than Americans. It's amazing. It's disappointing. And it's a disgrace that Americans do not understand, cannot comprehend, cannot read simple English statement and know exactly what I said. How do you get something wrong that's like, oh, I said this guy is up? How do you get that wrong? How do you misunderstand what that means? How does somebody get the conclusion that I'm like an idiot, that I'm like not as smart as them, the guy with the IQ of 49? That's insulting to me, I think. I think that's really insulting to most people that have an intellect higher than 49. I would think. So anyway. Are you paying attention, people? I hope. Alright, so I'm called rude, and I'm called, names, and somebody even got in there something like I'm a pervert, and used the P word, the other P word, the one, the one that, the other word that they don't understand the meaning of. Oh, for crying out loud. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, took care of that. So what we have is, I didn't forget Mrs. Trump. I'll get back to her. It's not really chaotic here. I know where I'm going here. All right, so these people are jabbering and gibberish and babbling, and in America, English has pretty much been turned into babble, and people speak babblish, and they read things and they think it's babblish when it's not. It's like, no, words mean what they mean. So you might want to look on Facebook and check out that post, and you might have something you want to say on that, like an opinion. You might want to express your opinion. In America, everybody gets to, if you got an internet connection, whether it's a PC or a laptop or a cell phone or what have you, you're connected, and you could just go on the air or online, on the air, whatever, and just say all kind of shit. And so anyway, I said what I had to say, which wasn't shit, and everybody that posted, these 150 or 40 people were making these comments, however many people were on. I sneezed on the air. Oh shit. Well, maybe I can edit that out. All right, moving on. So I was saying, I hate when that happens. Kind of threw me off kilter there for a second. Hold on. What I'm getting at is that people, everybody has, practically everybody has access to the internet these days. And what I do with that wonderful opportunity to connect with other people and be in touch with the world around us. They get on some Facebook page like mine and say stupid shit. And they actually take this seriously, like, oh, god damn, you're an asshole, and you're stupid and shit. And then they say something stupid themselves, like, oh, the sky is down. 2 and 2 is 15. I'm exaggerating that one. People actually argue with math. Yeah, 2 and 2 is 4. No, it's not, you idiot. Like, seriously, people, if you don't know that 2 and 2 is, in fact, actually, for a fact, 4, then you're either like a 6-month-old baby or you're a 110-year-old senile person. What kind of idiot would argue with that? Mathematical, factual, formula, conclusion, 2 and 2 is 4. Hell, you got 4 fingers on one hand. Count them. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fingers. 4. 2s and 2. 4. There's no argument. And you know what? It's really amusing when somebody comes on my page on Facebook, mine, it's mine, got my name on it. I could actually block people from there. I don't, usually, because, why? It's not like I can wipe them off of the face of the earth just by defriending them. I mean, they're still out there somewhere. I guess symbolically it's my, just if I block somebody from my Facebook page, it's like, my little symbolic gesture of just making them go away and disappear. And registering my disdain for their stupidity. But to be honest with you, I'd rather not defriend them. I'd rather them hang around and then just, keep their fucking mouth shut and listen and learn. But oh no, they gotta stay stopped. Like, you're a pervert, you're creepy. When in fact I'm not. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Not necessarily. If your opinion is wrong, then you can't really attach a right to that, can you? I'm a bloomin' idiot and I'm a bully and I'm going to tell you that you are a bully. I'm going to tell you you're an asshole and you're an asswipe and you're a pervert and, call you all kind of names and shit. And slander me. And libel me. And defame me. My good name. And my name is a good name. They don't even know me. That's the trouble with things like that on the internet. Millions and billions of people who don't know anybody else. Like, hey, I'm gonna, you're on my friends list. Yeah. Why would they call it a friends list? Why would they use that word and just? That's another one of those babble words. Like, let's take the word friend and make it mean something else. Yeah, friend doesn't mean just some guy I don't even know, that I just allow to, look at my page and my stuff and make a comment on it, perhaps. And libel me and defame me and stuff. That's not a friend. So the word friend has been changed, it's just totally not what it used to be. Well, it still is. It means what it means. But in the application of the word, it may not mean that. Well, in Facebook, I do have a couple of people on Facebook that, are on my friends list that are actually my friend. Or associate. Or acquaintance, more like. I guess acquaintance is too long a word for Facebook and internet people to use. Like, I've got you on my acquaintance list. There should be one of the, the list should be separate. You should have a friends for friends and family for family and acquaintances for like casual acquaintance. I just saw, I talked to you a couple of times on the internet. And then we should have another category on Facebook and other places, by the way, like Google Plus, for categories of people that are like, well, actually Google Plus does have a little bit more range of categories to pick from. But there should be another list. It's called Strangers Who I Let Talk to Me list. All right. So what we have here, I got around to. Oh, anyway, go to the post. Can't really show you the link here on the radio. I could read it to you, but it's a bunch of stuff. Just go to my Facebook page. Look for it. It's on there. It's, I think, the only post I made or shared with anyone, with the friends on Facebook that has to do with Elizabeth Smart. If she keeps being trendy, I might keep posting stuff about her. I did want to say this. I said earlier on the show here tonight, I said that I sympathize, I empathize, I feel bad that she had that experience. Nobody should have that experience, really. I don't think, unless, well, we won't get into that. That's another story. So what? I gotta let the cat out. Hold on. So, what I'm saying is, go to the page, read the comments. You want to make a comment? Hey, go ahead. If you want to insult me and libel me and slander me and defame me and all that, please don't. I mean, I'm already being beat up enough already by these morons. I really get it when people are like really rude to me, online. They're rude to me, and then they say, "You're rude to people, you asshole," and I'm like, but you were just being rude to me. Guess it's alright for them to be rude to me, but, if I should be, like, rude back, like, oh, you're an asshole. The irony. People don't get it. So, anyway. I didn't say anything bad about Elizabeth Smart, except for the fact that she's waging a war, her own little personal campaign against pornography. And I'm sorry, but that's wrong. I'm not attacking her for having been, I'm sorry you were raped and shit, but come on. It doesn't give you the right, that doesn't give you the qualifications to go around like trying to get pornography made illegal again. Like, this is the fucking Dark Ages. Just insane. It's 21st century, people. Like, grow a brain. I wasn't saying anything bad about her. I wasn't attacking her for the ordeal she went through or anything like that. I mean, she needs, I'm pat her on the back and a good girl, you woman now, you've survived a terrible ordeal, and I'm proud that you've done so. And I personally am pleased for you that you've survived and got through it and going to live and perhaps be like a normal person to some degree. But you just don't go attacking pornography because of, even if it did have something to do with the ordeal. I mean, she's saying that the guy looked at pornography, a magazine, apparently, and because I'm sure he didn't have the internet. So I'm sure he'd look. And it said in the article, in the interview, that he would look at a magazine of pornography and turn to her and say, hey, we're going to do this thing that, like in the picture. She's sucking his dick, and you're going to suck my dick, like in the picture. And whatever. Or I'm going to fuck you in the ass or something. See, I just wonder about that. I'm morbid curiosity, like, what exactly did he do to this girl? I mean, did he fuck her in the ass? Did he make her, swallow his dick? I mean, yuck. Did you see the guy? Did you see a picture of what this guy looks like? He must stink like shit to high heaven. God, that alone would be an ordeal. It would be hell. That would be just being close to a man that stinks. And I'm not saying he did stink. He might have taken a bath every day, but he sure didn't look like it. I mean, he lived in a freaking hutch in the woods or something, a cave or whatever. They showed a picture of it. Lived in the woods with a lunatic wife, supposedly. I mean, what kind of woman would... I like the details, because I can get a better understanding of this situation. But the fact of the matter is, we'll never know, because no one's ever going to tell that story, I guess. But maybe they will. I don't think Elizabeth Smart's going to. Not in any great detail. At any rate, she said he looked at the porn, and that made her hell even worse, because he wanted to do what he saw in the magazine. So porn is now the villain. In her life, porn is terrible. It's an awful, awful thing, and it needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. That's not right, people. And I don't care. You can have an opinion about porn. You can like it or not like it. You can, but sorry. But you can't wipe pornography off the face of the earth. That's one thing, it's impossible. And the second thing, that's just a stupid idea. And 3, it's an attack upon freedom of speech, which everybody has. They're born with it. They may not get to exercise it because of tyrants and bullies, but still. Attacking porn because of something that happened to her. That's the problem. I mean, she can have an opinion about porn. I don't like porn. It's, made my life miserable for 9 months because he was looking at porns and then he fucked me more. I can understand her emotional feelings about that. And her personally, I don't like porn, and I don't want anything to do with porn. I don't want to be around porn, and I want people, and I wouldn't want my husband looking at porn and shit. All right, fine, that's you, Elizabeth. That's fine. But you don't have the right to go around telling everybody else that they can't watch porn. Because that's a right. And there's nothing really wrong with porn. I won't get into that this time, but the fact of the matter is she's waging a war against porn and therefore waging a war against freedom. And every human being's right to look at porn or not. That's one of the problems in America. The government has some say in what we do and what we read, and that's not freedom, and that's not America. So Elizabeth Smart, in this case, just in this case of the pornography, I'm not saying anything about her other thing, ordeals and all this stuff, just the fact that she's speaking in such a tone against pornography, that her basic concept is it should be illegal and wiped off the face of the earth. Maybe I'm assuming that she does. Maybe I'm assuming too much. Maybe she isn't really saying that at all. It sure sounded like it, and I think I understand English. As opposed to most people. So what I'm saying to you is, she's waging a war, a personal vendetta against pornography. I'm not getting it. And then the people on Facebook, they are making comments about every damn thing, including some guys even talking about the Mormon church thing. I don't even know what that has to do with it. And they're arguing about this and that, bickering between themselves. Like, just stop it. Just stop arguing. Both of you are wrong. And they are, both of them, wrong. So, at any rate, I'm gonna keep on this one because this the response to my posting or sharing of that article about or interview with Elizabeth Smart is overwhelming. I haven't checked today, but I imagine there's a lot more comments posted to my that thread on my Facebook page. And like, oh God, I guess I should be careful what I wish for, because I got it, and it's a little bit scary when you read those comments. Like, these lunatics. I mean, they're not a whole lot smarter than this guy that abducted and raped her for 9 months. I mean, you people are freaking sick. And I don't mean the people that are defending porn, because they're not the sick ones. At any rate, let me finish up with this. Mrs. Trump. She's going to sue. I hope she does, and I hope she wins, because libel and slander and defamation should not be tolerated, because people who engage in slander and stuff like that against people are criminals, and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. And there should be an internet court where people like me that are slandered, libeled, and defamed on the internet, on my own page, by the way, unbelievable. People are bold. They just go on your page, just like they came into my living room and just called me a pervert and shit. I want to warn you, don't come into my house and insult me. I'll slap the shit out of you. Which I'm allowed to do in my own house. So if you come into my house and you libel me and you slander me, you say nasty things to me and call me nasty names like, you're a pedophile. I mean, no, I'm not. But just the fact that that's another whole episode right there. The word pedophile doesn't mean what people think it means. They're babblized, and they babblished that word, and it doesn't mean that, people. So anyway, and by the way, Elizabeth Smart was not a child when she was abducted at 14, because 14-year-olds are not children. They're adolescents. A totally different class of human development. All right, so I hope she wins the cases. I hope she sues them for a lot, and they actually have to say, well, we're sorry, we apologize, we're going to take it back. We're going to print like front page disclaimer retractions and say, oh, we're sorry, we insulted the poor lady, we slandered her and defamed her and accused her of being an escort when she wasn't, and we're despicable, disgusting human beings, and we're going to, as soon as we get done apologizing for it and satisfying the court's ruling that we should give her like millions of dollars or whatever, like she needs it, but they need to be punished for their crime. Civil crime, mind you, not a criminal crime, but a civil crime. And, I hope she wins, and I hope they suffer some sort of civil punishment for their crime. Civil crime, that is. And made to apologize and clarifies that all that up, and we get that straightened out soon. And, because she might be First Lady. And then we would have to, the First Lady is suing like a lot of people for being idiots and committing civil crimes against her and her husband. Duh. So anyway, folks, I'll talk to you again in a little bit. Have a good day.